Okay, this is a story about my, I don't want to say crazy cousin. He probably wasn't any crazier than the rest of us. He was a few months older than me. His name was Jamie. Jamie Gifford. He was my dad's sister's son. But we used to always enjoy doing stuff. He was fun to be around. One day he wanted us to take him riding on the Shetland ponies. For those that don't know what a Shetland is, just like a horse but shorter than a normal horse. And we had one Shetland pony which we considered the meanest of all of our horses, named Rebel, which is why we named her Rebel. It was a female horse, a filly. It was because we considered her mean. That she would always try to bite you or kick you, or she was pretty smart though. If she didn't want you to ride her, she would go running down this dirt road, it's a gravel road, and her way to get you off is she would run as fast as she could and then put her feet out front, her hooves, not feet, out front, and lower her head to try to throw you off the front of the horse so you'd land in the gravel. But we knew she was kind of mean like this, so we put a special bridle on her that has what's called a choke chain. It's a little chain that goes underneath the neck, so that when you pull back on the bridle on the reins to try to stop the horse, if the horse doesn't stop, that chain will kind of choke it or dig into their neck and choke them a little bit, and that makes them stop even if they don't want to. So we didn't tell Jamie that we were giving him the meanest horse, but we figured it would be safe since he had a choke chain on. And we rode into our back, I think it was the back 500 acres. We had like 5,000 acres, but it was divided up into different areas. I think this was on the back 530 acres. There was a pond up there that we wanted to go check out. And so we rode our horses there, and I don't know how we got the horses to do it. I think they wouldn't want to, but for whatever reason, I remember they did it. We rode the horses right out into the water, because the water was only like 4 feet deep or something. And then we would climb up on the back of the horse and use it like a diving board to jump off of the horse into the water. And we did that for a while, just swimming and jumping off the horse and having fun. And then when it was time to go back, we were showing that bridle to my next door neighbor named Jack Simmons, because he was thinking that maybe he should get one like that. And he said, "Oh, can I try it out?" And since we hadn't had any problems with Rebel on the way there, we thought, well, probably no big deal. Yeah, we'll let Jack try it out on the way home and see if he likes it. And so we took the choke chain off of Rebel, and once again we didn't tell my cousin. But we let Jack try using the bridle with the choke chain. And we came down off that hill where the pond was and got to the big open field, probably as big as 2 or 3 football fields in length. And all of a sudden Rebel decided to take off running. I guess Rebel decided it was tired of having somebody ride on her back. And in the middle of this big field there was just one big tree, which had a trunk probably about this big around. It was a pretty huge tree. Rebel, since there was no gravel to throw her rider off into, she decided it would be a good idea. She ran straight for that tree as fast as she could. She got like 3 feet away from the tree and then jumped to the right as fast as she could, which sent my cousin flying off the front of the horse. She might have put a little bunk in it to bunk you off, is that the expression? Anyway, for whatever reason it worked, and threw my cousin off. He kept going straight ahead with inertia, face planted right straight into that big old tree. Broke, I think, at least 2 and maybe 3 or 4 of his front teeth. Not broke them all the way out, but chipped them off and broke them. And so we got the horse back, and we never did tell him why his horse wouldn't stop. We took him back home, and I remember when we got home, my parents and his parents were all wanting to know what happened. And being the good little kids we are, you can almost guess ahead of time that not one of us confessed to the truth about the choke chain. It's kind of like, well, we don't know what happened. The horse just wouldn't stop. I remember he had to go to the dentist and get all of his teeth fixed. Oh, I won't remember this story if I don't tell it now. This is the same cousin. I guess one of the reasons we call him a little crazy is thinking back to this story, that they finally did move to a farm. And I remember when we went to see them once, there was a big hole in their garage where the tractor crashed into it. And when we asked them what happened, the story they told us was Jamie was learning to drive the tractor. It's not unusual on a tractor that if you hit any kind of a big rock, it'll kind of jerk your hands on the steering wheel when you hit that big rock. And so I think that's what happened. He hit a rock and it jerked the steering wheel sideways a little bit. And so he screamed, "It's out of control," and jumped off the tractor. The tractor just kept going until it crashed into the house. And so you can kind of get an idea why we consider Jamie a little on the crazy side. Although that could happen to anybody. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you. And that's the end of that story.